A couple of weeks ago, we started a little experiment. We allowed nature into the garden a lot more. I expanded out the wildflower garden. I went ahead and added extra bird feeders. And more importantly, I also allowed clover and weeds to grow in my yard. Today, we're going to see how that experiment went and what the benefits are and maybe the downsides are. Let's dive into it. Hello and welcome to Sproutlogic Gardening. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this whole experiment. If you want to see the different parts of it, by the way, my previous couple of videos, I actually dive into different parts such as adding extra bird feeders, the wildflower garden, etc. This part in particular was allowing clover and certain weeds to just grow wild into the yard. Now I know hearing that right off the bat, I know a lot of you probably clench up and go, ooh, no. You know, I prefer my yard to be completely pristine, no weeds, no issues, and to each his own. Completely respect that, not a problem. For me, however, the goal was to allow nature to be brought into the garden without any restrictions or issues, right? I wanted to see what would happen. What are the benefits? What are the downsides, of course, to this? And I will say, I feel like the benefits way outweigh the issues that you would see. Now, in particular, the one weed I'm talking about is clover. This occurs naturally in meadows and fields and stuff. And I learned quite a few things about it. For example, thanks to one of my viewers who pointed it out, it actually provides nitrogen to the soil. It feeds the soil. So right away I started thinking, well, if it does that, then it's going to feed the yard. It's going to feed the grass and stuff around it. Absolutely. I also could think of maybe using it as a bumper crop or something to be applied that can actually go ahead and maybe I planted over where I had tomatoes before to put nitrogen back into the soil naturally. Why not? Pull it up when you're done. You just got free fertilizer right there. Why not? And you're protecting the soil as well. So I did let clover go. I let it run completely wild throughout the yard. And what I'm seeing, the grass is actually growing better around it. Again, I'm guessing that feeding is going right into that, right? But also pollinators. I am seeing hundreds and hundreds of pollinators in my backyard, just in the clover alone, widespread throughout here. I can come out here and I hear buzzing as soon as I hit the back door and I open it up. And to me, that's incredible. I'm feeding the bees, the wasps, and other things, and they're taking care of all of this. If I had tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever, I know there's plenty of available pollinators, way more than I've ever seen in my backyard, by the way. I have flowers out here all the time. Even in the wildflower garden, there's a good amount of bees. But on the clover, unbelievable amounts. As I said, hundreds. So if I was to grow fruit and veg back here, I'm super confident I wouldn't have to worry about pollinating or any issues around that. That's something to think about, right? And maybe if you're on a farm, maybe if you're growing a backyard patch of fruit and veg, you might want to plant some clover around it, maybe around the border, maybe lines of it. I mean, I could see that being really beneficial to feed the soil and also bring in those bees that you need to make sure you get a really good harvest. Now, let's talk really quick about downsides. Clover spreads. And spreads quickly. And I've noticed that my yard is a beautiful sea of white flowers. But it's a beautiful sea of white flowers. So I think it requires a little bit more hands-on maintenance. And I've been kind of hands-off. I haven't been mowing as much. My yard right now really needs it, frankly. The grass is really high. So maybe a little bit more upkeep when it comes to mowing. I don't know if you need to mow more, but I would just stay on top of it better than I did for sure. Also, make sure any kind of rules you have in your neighborhood, if you live in an HOA, for example, sometimes clover is classified as a weed. So keeping that in mind, that could potentially mean that you're not allowed to grow it or it shouldn't be in your backyard. So just something to keep in mind. You don't want to get in trouble in that aspect as well. Also, maybe city ordinances, we'll call that as well and say, nah, that's a weed and that's a problem. The city ordinances is an interesting one. For example, where I live, the city would actually allow you to apply to have your backyard be a pollinator haven, which would protect it against any kind of city ordinance, not HOA. This is super important. These are very different things. But if I applied for that, for example, no ordinance would apply when it comes to the city, and I could grow this kind of stuff, no problem at all. Just a couple things to call out and note. But frankly, when I think about the downsides, that's really about it for me. I'm having to water less. I'm having to cut less, really. You know, and frankly, what I'm seeing is just more life coming into the backyard, and my flowers are happier. The bees are visiting them a lot more. And if I was growing fruit and veg, I'm almost certain it would be extremely happy. Let me know if this video was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments. Happy to talk through that. Any kind of suggestions for future videos would be great as well. Thank you for watching. And also, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.